Hello and welcome once again to another stream here at Crown Cup. And I am looking forward to these games, but I can't be doing this alone. In fact, we are here to cast one of these games. I am Jaffa, and I have been a tasty little Jaffa cake and have escaped the cupcake factory, but I am here with my co-caster, Ollie.
Hey guys, I'm Ari. I've been helping out since we needed someone to help out Yaffa. He can't yap to himself all the time. Tonight, I believe we have got a amazing match with two of our European teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot yap alone. Certainly gets tiresome if I'm the only one yapping. So I am looking forward to the absolute antics we're going to get up to on this stream. That's for sure. Because we are
I'll
not going to
definitely
be
be
taking
antics.
this too seriously. And I wonder if the teams will be taking it seriously, or not as seriously as we are. But tonight
Well,
we
I'd
will
hope
be.
they take it a bit more serious, to be honest. They want to win, don't they?
That is true because tonight we are checking in on the Challenger Division with EC Shinzoku facing off against Unicorn Rage. With this match, is going to decide who books a ticket to the grand final. So you are absolutely right there to say, they better be taking it seriously because they gotta get to that grand final if they're gonna win. They gotta win to
Well,
get the
let's
grand
hope
final.
Rukus isn't on support because I hear he's ruined a lot of their ranked games on Rushion.
That is brutal.
Hey, it's
uh,
their words, not mine.
oh, amazing! Already bringing up the little drama, and I'm sure some of their supporters are going to be spamming chat. I can't see chat. I wish I could right now, and I certainly hope it's
Yeah.
full of related copy pastas.
Well, once again, if we're still going to stay on the topic of the unicorn rage, let's just hope that Roncorn doesn't jump on the reform on Mercy because I hear that they've had to come off. They've had to retire their Mercy. Oh, no matter. Look at that.
Well, this is the team, though, Unicorn Rage, who are playing today, and I'm going to be interested in quite a few of their compositions. The ball, it seems like, from Ruben is probably one of their favorite heroes, and it's quite an interesting hero to choose because it can really act all by itself, and sometimes that's all that you need to pull off strategies in ranked games.
Yeah, I've noticed as well. All of them seem to manage to get their favorite heroes out. So I'm expecting amazing praise, and I'm guessing if they've all selected their like favorite hero for this game, and they've been able to select that they have a good composition and a good set of tactics to go with it. Like
Yeah,
I'm going to see
I
really quick rollouts, I presume, with the Ruscio and Ball, and Junkrat can jump over most of the veggies in the map, giving him high ground pretty quick.
That is true. I think they're going to be an interesting team to watch for sure. In fact, this team, Unicorn Rage, they've a little bit of a tidbit that they have told us about is in a DCSCT season 15, Division 2, first place. So this is not a team to be taken lightly. In fact, they also went through the lower bracket in order to win that. So I
Yeah, they
feel
lost
like
the first match, didn't they?
yeah, they did indeed lose the first match, going through the lower bracket to come out in first place, which is honestly incredible. There are really not that many cases where I see a team lose their first match and then from then on just win, 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 win to the grand finals to take the victory there. So this is like a team that you can't assume that they're just going to give up because they don't.
Well, I can only say one thing about that, and that's absolute esports. My hands are up. Because they've got to
We should
put
be
on a
just
great
cinema, hands up, cinema. There you go. When
cinema.
you,
Yeah. Let's hope they provide an entertaining experience for fans at home today.
yeah, but it's not the only team that we have today with us. We also have another team as well, Shinzoku, who have a little bit of a different lineup, choosing for that Zarya on the tank, which is my favorite hero to be playing, especially as tank. So
Really?
I don't know, maybe that alone
Wow.
is going to be earning my support here.
Well, I think I've just learned something about you, Yeffa, and I think that's your tank choice says a lot about you. Let's just say that much.
Oh no. It says a lot about me. Oh, I
As
mean,
a Reinhardt main, I, I I don't think I'd enjoy coming up against you. That's the thing.
oh, but Reinhardt, I mean, Reinhardt's one of the best heroes in the entire roster of Overwatch. So, you know,
He's got the most character. That's one thing for sure.
exactly.
Have you heard his voice lines? Like, do you want to see my muscles? Yes, I do, Ryan.
I
I
I
use
I
your
most
twin
certainly do.
skin for a reason.
Yes, absolutely. He's definitely got the attitude to match as well, charging in. I hope, however, that the Reinhardt in my future ranked matches do not necessarily have the same sort
Abandon you to
of.
charge.
Yeah, I hope that they just like hold off on their charge just a little bit sometimes.
Yeah. Well, I'm thinking that the UON Rages, Unicorn Rages, sorry, Bull will definitely be knocking their team out about a good bit and really trying to separate their formation. And I think he's going to have a really easy time doing that against the Zarya as their tank. I've got to
Yeah,
say
I
that
think
much. But
you're
they've got the Lucio as well to easily get him out. So it's got to say that looks like a better team up so far.
absolutely. I do agree. That is definitely something to keep in mind for these kind of compositions. And even if you have put Zarya down as your favorite tank, it might not always be the best choice. I mean, Zarya is quite a powerful tank at the moment, but I don't think that necessarily means that it's always the best choice to be making.
Yeah, and I see that they actually have Kiriko on the Shinzoku team, which I don't think is actually going to get much value considering that she hasn't actually got anyone to like any negative effects to cleanse when it comes to the cleanse ability.
Yeah, well, that is certainly true. If you really want to be making good use of those kind of abilities, but I think that's an important part of what makes a hero valuable is whether you can really use those abilities during the fights, or if they're just really situational. If you can use them in a wide number of different situations to help you get that win, to help your win condition, then that makes that character a powerful hero. And Kiriko falls into that category, but you know, I mean, I think even if you don't have to be cleansing, anti sleep, you name it, then I still think you can get a lot of value from your Suzu, for example.
Oh yeah, you can definitely get value, but it would have been way more value. Like, let's be honest, Kiriko compared to the new heroes as well, like Miyuki, she's just a better one of him, but still without the negative effects, I think her healing isn't the best, to be honest with you.
Actually, speaking of new heroes, why don't we quickly go over the new heroes that have been added into the game just last week, in fact. Unfortunately, though, for our teams, they will not be able to play any of the new heroes just yet in Crown Cup. We're still going to have to wait at least another week before that will be the case. But I am looking forward to when that happens. What about you?
Same here, same here. I think they finally added the cutest hero in gaming. Jetpack Cat is my man. That's all I can say. Can't wait to see a team pour him out in the Crown Cup. I hope they do at some point because all my eyes are gonna be on him. Like I'm gonna be distracted the entire game. You won't see any good casting from me. That's all I can say about that.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, there are plenty of cat lovers around, myself included. So I am looking forward to seeing the little cat be an absolute menace, no doubt, in the game. I think, really though, with Jetpack Cat, as much as the tether ability is really powerful and amazing, in some ways it's like a really worse version of Symmetra TP. Do you know what I mean? And I just think
yeah,
how Symmetra TP it's very powerful at the moment. To be fair.
yeah, I get that. But then again, I think that Jetpack Cat is more like a dive hero than a like an actual support, I'd say.
Mhm,
So I'd think that his main sort of what do you call it strength comes from his R1 ability. His E is it? So I
mhm.
don't play on PC. The field of healing, because when you get that to major perk, it does 50% the damage that does healing as well. So that's about 50 damage per second for just being near him. And that is actually insane to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Those abilities are incredible, and I do have to agree with you that I think Jetpack Cat is going to be an absolute menace, especially used in dive compositions. With the boost that you have, you just got some of the best mobility in the game. You've got a great damage potential as well, and you're really going to be competing against a Lucio for that spot, who's going to be trying to do the same sort of things as the main supports, providing opportunities to finish up on those kills. But I have been yapping for far too long. The players are no doubt getting anxious as we speak. So let's quickly wrap up here and talk about the hero bans and map bans that we are seeing for this first map.
Yeah, let's get him on.
For map bans, we have Samoa picked here for control. And I'll be honest, it's
Wow.
probably my least favorite map out of the bunch, but I do have to applaud it for some amazing art.
Well, let's just say Ball's not going to be knocking anyone off the map on Samoa. So I think that this ban is going to be in favor of the Suzuku, sorry, Shinzoku team for their tank. And then again, with Ruscio, Samoa's got some great rollouts for him. He can easily get to point and stall if his team gets wiped and they wiped in overtime. So I'd say this is a really good map for their supports, really.
Yeah, I hope so too. But for hero bands, we've got a couple of different characters. We've got May and Junker Queen band, and I don't think that really mixes things up all too much. The May is certainly a powerful hero at the moment. You can really isolate your tanks. Sorry, the opposing tanks. That could be quite dangerous for certain compositions that rely on like Zarya or like short. Oh, sorry, long fights. Whereas the May can really capitalize on the short fights, but
Yeah,
I
May
just
can
feel like these are a
definitely
little bit
shorten the range
vibe
of the fight.
picks.
Yeah, I hate May. Like if I have May in my game, I know I'm going to have a horrible time. Even if it's on my team, usually just warring off enemies that I have like one shot or just forcing me to stay into a room and with a team and just getting me in close quarters when I'm trying to do like a long range character like Ash. It's just not going to work out for me. So I can imagine why people would want her gone. But Junker Queen, I don't really understand. I don't think she's that strong at the moment in current meta. She's not been changed much over the last few seasons. And if the teams knew anything about each other, I'm surprised they didn't actually go and try ban one of the other team's favorite heroes. They obviously haven't done much research into each other, which could prove fatal on their parts.
That is true. If you are able to pick up those kind of key moments, it can indeed prove very fatal. Um, and I think just banning, the opponent's favorite heroes is a good choice and a good shot,
Mhm.
especially at like this level. But again, I feel like these bans are a little bit vibe based. And I'm interested to see how that is going to play into this. But I do have to say that May though, and as much as you say that you hate that May, I love May. One of my favorite characters. It may be my main. In fact, a lot of my
Wow, we are definitely very different people on learning when it comes to Overwatch. Then. That's
I
all
mean,
I can say to you.
different people. Okay. How different then is this take that Goats was the best meta in the entire game of Overwatch?
To be honest, I'm not really too. I think that's.
Don't tell me this is before your time. Don't tell me Ghosts is before you played Overwatch.
No, I do remember the name. It's just that it's that long ago. I think my old age is finally getting to me. Yeah, it looks like we haven't
Zarya,
got
Rhine,
their
3
favorite
tanks going
tanks.
in, brawling everywhere.
No, that's definitely not my time. But we've got a Malga versus Diva matchup here. This is going to be interesting for sure. Diva doesn't want to get caught on fire here, but as soon as she gets a major perk against Malga, it's not going to go well for the Malga. But the question is, will she get it in any of these games?
Certainly a good question. They are continuing to fight it out, brawl it out, and the Genji here looking for the kill. Oh!
Ooh.
She's able to find 2 kills
And he
already.
gets his dash back. Okay, can he finish the Lucio?
certainly hope so.
Hey, they're hard to hit, mate.
They are,
Pushing
they
him
are.
all the way back to spawning. Shinzoku taking point on the first.
Yeah, I mean, what really happened there is, from what I can tell, is that Shinozuku they were able to position around Unicorn Rage just a little bit too aggressive there, Noctilus, and then Shinzuku they saw that opportunity, they went in, got the kill. Now they're one man down, and then they finished up the rest with the extra damage they could have fueled.
Well, Reaper's holding 2 off up top, but he's finally managed to get noticed by his Rusio here. Malga charges in, sets them all ablaze, gets an easy pick on the soldier, misses the Kiriko, who uses the Suzu there. Oh, doesn't matter. He gets both of their supports. Now it's just D.Va in the 1v4. No, here comes Adventure out of nowhere. And they both get ran over by Malga.
Yeah,
I'm
absolutely.
thinking that the Kiriko's Suzu should be really good for the Unicorn Rage, to be honest. I don't think she's utilizing it enough, because the fire effect that you can get on Malga is one of those debuffs that we were speaking about earlier. And that can definitely give some amazing regeneration. If she can get it as he does his charge just before he stuns them, then that is going to be huge for that team.
Absolutely, but they're coming in again, using the cage now as to their best of their ability, finding the kills that they need to, surely charging in, adding that debuff effect.
But do we have a Suzu? No. They need to really think about their cooldowns here, Unicorn Mage. I think that at this rate, it seems like it's just a warm-up game for them, because I don't think this is actually an esports team from what I'm seeing. I guess it's true what we've been told about the Rusio, that he does like to throw his ranked games.
I can't believe such an accusation is being heard and potentially being seen to come true in a game like this, but we are seeing these teams fight it out surely as they once again come in. Beat comes in to try and keep them alive.
Yep. Both support ults from the Unicorn Mage by the looks of it. No, that was one from Shinzoku, sorry, and one from Mage. And then we got a Lever Bomb on point that doesn't seem to get anybody. Genji pops Blade, takes out the D.Va, and he doesn't look like he's going to be able to finish a second person off with it, sadly. And Venture getting pushed off point. Or diving in.
Well, they're not able to pick up one kill, but they are just kind of all trickling on here. They have to. It is overtime because they just lost too many fights and we're not able to gain enough progress, really.
Yeah, they seem to need. I think Unicorn need to try and group up a bit more, and they really need to focus. Oh, it looks like we've had a disconnection actually.
Yeah, and in fact, that might have been the whole reason that they were struggling. If you've got, one member who's kind of not really partaking in the fight because, they've got slow internet, they're, prone of DCing, then, you're probably going to be struggling, no doubt.
And that was the Unicorn Rangers Sojourn, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And surprisingly enough, that's actually the one who was told to be ruining games on Rusio. It seems like the Rusio mains are throwing no matter who they are on that team. So I can see why they've been accused of throwing games now. Disconnecting when it matters most, like in overtime, like surely one extra hero and a DPS hero as well is a huge help in any kind of situation.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I've been trying to gather my thoughts here on what I've been seeing. It's not going the way that I was expecting.
Yeah, definitely not. I'm hoping that we actually get to see like some more brawling of sorts, because these fights in the first round just ended super quick. Like,
yeah,
I hope that they can keep it going for a bit longer. Maybe the Ragers could actually take a point once, cap point. That would be nice. Maybe they should try a quick C9 strategy at some point. If you know what that is, I don't know if that was before your time.
A C9 strategy. I'm not so sure about that.
That's when you capture the point without the enemy team noticing and hopefully win the game.
I have a feeling that is not going to work out. I don't think I've ever seen that happen on a broadcast stream ever, really. I certainly hope to see at least once, but I've seen plenty of Ajaxes, but very few sneaky C9s at least.
You need to try watching some COD streams. This is, I guess you could call Ninja Diffuser C9 in a way.
Depends how blatant it is, I suppose. I've certainly not been watching much COD personally. It's not really my game, but
Well, I don't think the new one's been anyone's game from what I've heard.
ooh, I mean that feels
But
like a story every year though, when a new COD game releases. So
looks like we're getting a slight change on range to what do you call him, Sigma
Sigma.
Tracer, and that should be pretty good for the Mauga, considering that he can easily tank up a lot of his shots. Mauga has a fire rate of around, I believe it's 60 bullets per 2 seconds or something like that, insane like that. I think it's 60 bullets every 1.5 seconds, so the amount of overhealth you gain from that, and that's roughly a fifth of his mag, which can be huge. And then you got the shield as well, so you could technically just take out the entire Mauga mag and leave him defenseless with no ammo. But yeah, they're being pushed back here.
yeah, I mean,
Which
sorry,
is
yeah, absolutely.
okay.
So Unicorn Rage doing a good job so far with this Tracer and Lucio backing them up, playing as they kind of
Yeah.
would expect, really, where you've got your main supports and your flanker working together to try and pick them off, and that's been working well against them so far, at least, with the Genji not able to find the
And
picks.
look
Now
at that
pushing
Suzu
over.
there on the Sigma as he was burning. That's gone straight off critical, straight back onto for 50% health, which is amazing. And I think the Sigma is an amazing pick against Mauga, to be honest. But they get a pick on the Soldier. Yeah. Anyway.
Well, the shields do tend to shut down Mauga just a little bit, so hopefully they'll be able to focus down on Mauga now, but now they're left with just a couple of members remaining on the point, but they still got plenty of time, still capping the point, so it's nothing too much to worry about, sure.
The question is as well, are we going to see more counterwatch? Are we going to see the Mauga switch to something like Zarya so that they can easily counter the Sigma? Because they are actually insane against Sigmas, to be honest with you. As you, I'm sure you'd know as a Zarya main when it comes to tank. You are nasty against the Sigma. Especially with the current patch notes, like, she is strong.
Yeah, Sigma is not really the character that you tend to see all too much, though, at least in 5v5, because, well, they're just all specced into that long-range poke, and when you're in a 5v5 situation, you've only got one tank, it's a bit hard to keep the team away from just pushing onto you, but it doesn't seem like that's been the problem here for Unicorn Rage, who have been demolishing Shinzoku rather well, able to focus down where they need to, and their flankers doing the job they do as well. That have just been able to pick apart the team, and it's complete reversal of what we saw on the previous round.
Yeah, it's amazing, and we're seeing Shinzoku actually have a Tracer instead of someone now. And they were trying to do a Tracer 1v1 as sort of earlier, but the Rage Lucio managed to back up the Tracer and save them, so they didn't actually get picked there. So I'm guessing that they just thought, you know what, I can diff this Tracer, but obviously were proven wrong. But
Yeah,
Mauga
unfortunately.
here, and Shinzoku is making a comeback.
Absolutely. Clearly, I must have spoken too
round.
soon as well.
Yeah, they've made a slight improvement. It looks like it was just a warm-up, but you know what? At least it's going to make for slightly more interesting and longer round. We don't want this to be over too quick, do we?
No, not at all. It's certainly good to have some closer games of Overwatch where you're not really sure who's going to be coming out victorious, but Shinzoku here with the ult advantage, they're surely going to be winning this. Cage comes
But
out,
once again, the
mowing
Sigma
down
gets
everyone.
stuck in it, and he uses his back hold to eat up most of the Mauga's shots, and then he gets his shield broken, taking up the other half the mag, and takes out the Mauga. Meaning that Shinzoku is now without a tank, and this gives Rage the perfect chance to push up. Lucio getting wiped off the map as well, and we have a Matcha now instead of a Mauga. I don't know how that's going to go against Sigma, considering his fists can actually get past Sigma's shield and doesn't actually get absorbed by his black hole. But Lucio keeping the Matcha off point, and Sigma all taking out the two that make it to point. So now it's looking like a 1v5, is that, with the Reaper, and it looks like Unicorn Rage has managed to take round 2.
Corner mage. I mean, uh, well, certainly was enough to take round 2 for now. The first map is yet to be completed. They still have the last point in this particular map left, and it's probably my least favorite one of them. It's one that I just never really quite understand what to do. But you have these long sight lines, you've got these different areas and zones that you kind of need to control, especially as a flanker, and being able to do all of that at once in a competent way to bring out the victory can be a little bit hard.
Well, I think this is my favorite map, to be honest, on this map, especially his jetpack. It's amazing for him to go. But also, I just don't see how it fits into Samoa, to be honest. Like, it's all nice, and I don't really see a volcano in the map anywhere, so I don't see where the Vargas come from. But it looks like the Genji is getting defeated straight away as he runs into basically a full team, thanks to the sim TP. And it looks like the Unicorn Rage did manage to funnel all their range from losing the first point into actually getting a round, so let's see if the Rage keeps them going.
Yeah, hopefully so far getting the kills as well. Now they're starting to pick off the flankers with the tank down. I mean, tank's always such a critical player of a team, and to have them down is just surely a death sentence.
And the Tracer on Rage is getting demolished, but she's managing to keep herself alive. She probably wanted to heal more health there with her rewind, but she's going to take the 74 because it managed to get us back to her supports, which is what she really wanted for heals.
Yeah, as my teammates often complain, if you're dead as Tracer, you cannot be helping my team. So it's always important to be staying alive, especially as a Tracer. But we're seeing a little bit of a reversal here, at least a little bit, but going just a little bit too hard. But it doesn't matter. Unicorn Range are down to one player, and it's going to be over pretty soon for them.
Well, I saw the Kiriko here use the Suzu on the Malga as she got stunned. I mean, not on the Malga. On the Ramatra as he got stunned by the Sigma Rock, and that was actually huge for him because they managed to keep their tank alive just a bit longer, and he managed to tank up all the hits and just die when there's only one person left, which is an easy cleanup for the rest of the team. Because surely they do not lose the 1v3 at this server. And they managed to stagger the spawns for that team because they're going to be one man down while she walks back, which is an amazing advantage for this next fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be all about those advantages, especially with the ults. The ults are the most important part. That rotation.
An amazing beat there, but Tracer in the back being noticed by the Genji. Can he do anything about it though? Yes, amazing defect there. Takes the pick, gets sprayed, gets one. Is he going to get the two?
Surely gets the second.
Okay,
there you go.
Now can he finish the Rusio, or is that Rusio going to get away?
He's going to let them go, it seems. I'm sure.
Oh, and we did get a C9, it looks like. Sigma managed to cap point, giving him a bit more of a percentage into this round.
Yeah,
but sadly, it's not enough to win the game.
I mean, the fight was already lost for them with the kind of situation that went down for them. Sure, they got an amazing beat, but the Genji just, you know, if they waited maybe a couple of seconds, half a second later, maybe they would have gotten an even bigger beat to really save them, because they just didn't have very much in terms of ult rotations at that point in time. And it really comes down to the ults at this point, in competitively at least, not strictly just your abilities.
I'm seeing as well here that a few heroes are actually getting their major perks, which is going to be an amazing advantage compared to those who are only on minors. If someone hasn't actually unlocked their perk, they are going to be an even bigger disadvantage, because these major perks are game changing for a lot of heroes, and actually unlock some new abilities for certain heroes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. These perks are certainly an interesting part, because originally Overwatch never had them, but
no, it doesn't.
It's an interesting way of they've sort of tried to shoehorn them in certain cases, and sometimes they just don't fit, but others they are absolutely game changers, really changing how you can play this heroes. But just look at this now; they're playing as well. They can't use the
by both DPS. Getting taken out this fight early, which is not what you want to see. You want that Kiriko alive, you want the Suzu, you want the extra bit of healing, because the healers, let's be honest, are the core of any good team.
Absolutely.
So I wonder if the tanks are going to be watching their healers a bit more, because the amount of dive heroes we're seeing, like Tracers, we're seeing Genjis, And even Venture at times can be a good dive because she has the ability to quickly get out of a situation by burrowing underground and stunning people out of the way. But there we see an amazing Suzu on the Sigma. Genji on one shot and it gets taken out by the soldier and returning from spawn. This is what we like to see when it comes to an Overwatch spawn. A nice, an Overwatch rule, just like the constant firing on all fronts. But with that, Unicorn Rage take the first round. Like I was saying, they just needed to warm up that first round. Right? And then they took the
Clearly,
match.
yeah, clearly you're right. They just need to do a little bit of a warm up before taking the round win.
Obviously, didn't do some practice games before joining the lobby here, so let's see what happens this next game. But that was an amazing first game, if you ask me.
Hey, well, yeah, there was certainly some highlights in the game that we just saw between those two teams. Some players making some great choices, but you know, they just seem to struggle just a little bit here and there. If I was to really put it onto something, I'd probably say it's the hero compositions of the rosters most of the time. Um, Sometimes they lost because of, I think, because of the ults that they were using, and I think that's just a such a crucial part of the game that um, is often overlooked at the moment. That a big part is ult economy and whether you have
Yeah.
them or you don't. Do you use them? Do you use them? Maybe you misuse them. How powerful are those ults? A lot of the heroes are sort of competing for the position based on the ult that they have. Is it a powerful ult or is it not?
Yeah. Well, I think we only saw about 2 or 3 Kiriko ults that game, to be honest with you.
Mm.
So I think that they need to do something about Kiriko actually using her ults because I feel like she's being too passive with them. We had a Lucio ult like every other fight, which was pretty good for teams that had it, but we only saw like one bad support ult there, and I think that was the Lucio in the and near the end of the first round of Samoa from the Rages. From Shinzoku. So
Yeah, I do have to agree with you on that. And with the supports, often they kind of, as I'm sure you understand, they get divided into two different roles: the main support and the flex support role, which means nothing really. It's a really weird definition, right? Like main support,
yeah,
flex support. It's got nothing to do with how much healing or the abilities or anything like that. It's got everything to do with how you play them. So Lucio, uh, Brigitte, you got Wu Yang, who's been added in
yeah,
recently, and honestly, I think Jetpack Cat as well is going to be a strong contender as a main support character. Just because of how they play, you try and go in and get those early picks. Whereas the supports, the flex supports, they're playing a little bit differently, and it varies quite a bit from hero to hero. But you still need to be in there making use of those abilities as much as you can. You need to position in the right place and use those abilities at the
yeah.
right timing to make any use of them, especially mid fight, because that is where you maximize your value.
Yeah, well, also we got to think about the new passives that have been added, the sub roles for each role. Like
Hmm.
we got a lot of flankers there, like Tracer, which gets 75 extra health now from health packs. But we also had brawlers types like Malga, which actually I believe have 25% less damage taken at any point. So roles like that we got to think about because that's quite new to the game as well, and they can make a huge advantage into what you're playing into. Because I know I would happily take 25% less damage as Reinhardt, and that would have been a godsend back in the day.
That is true, but just as much as those passives strengthen, your Reinhardt, they also can weaken your matchups against other heroes and other characters, and I think that is actually more likely to cause the problems rather than necessarily, oh, this is a nice little boost to health or to damage or to uh, your ult economy. I feel like they can be less impactful than I would like them to be. But if they're too impactful, then they dictate the game too much. And I don't know. I think it's a difficult challenge.
Yeah, well, we saw a lot of survivor sub roles on the supports here because we had people like Lucio, we had Kiriko, but we didn't see any sub role medics, which is like 20. I think it's like 20 a quarter of the healing that you deal with your primary actually self heals as well, but sub roll passive is really good because it's whenever you use a moving ability, and if you're playing as Lucio, I believe even just a wall jump classes as a movement ability, and that starts your passive self healing, and that's just amazing. And even with Kiriko, because you got down top of a Suzu or a step, that can be game changing, just instant max health.
Yeah, with Lucio, you're going to be jumping and wall riding all the time. So you're going to be able to really just min max that little ability there as much as you possibly can. But we do have another round incoming for sure. And they have
Yeah.
already picked their map, I believe,
Yeah,
out of the hybrid maps.
let's see. Icon World. Now, this is my map. This is one I get really excited to play each time. You know, I'm coming out with the Crusader himself on this map. But also, an amazing map for Diva Bombs. You can throw a Diva Bomb over pretty much any wall, any building in this map, and get a cheeky, sneaky team wipe if the other team's not careful.
Yeah, but I feel like with Diva, though, the stronger part of Diva Mech is actually just to remech and get some extra health, especially
Yeah.
at the higher level of gameplay. That's usually where you're going to be finding people making use of their Diva Bomb rather than strictly as a, hi, I'm going to try and get a 5k, as much as I love to see them.
Yeah, and you also get Diva Squish when you call in a mech. If you manage to call on top of a hero, that hero is gone. You just wiped him from existence there, which can actually be huge when it comes to remeching. But this map's pretty good for close quarters on the mass point, but also it's got a lot of long range sort of lines of sight. You know, we've got of course, the normal spot on top of the castle, which just lets people rain down as soon as second point starts.
And we actually have a couple of hero bands as well, and I'm not sure how that's going to play into the mix. We've got a Reaper and a Sigma, which again, I'm unsure of how impactful these hero bands are going to be. Sure, the Sigma might have a great because of the range and the poke that you can get with it, but the
Yeah.
Reaper, I mean, maybe they're just annoyed by the Reaper in the previous game, and that's it.
Yeah, I understand the Sigma, but the Reaper on this map is I'm a bit questioning of because especially if they decide that they want to play Malgo again, then they do
Mhm.
not want to play Malgo into the Sigma. If I was the Rangers, I would have actually banned Malgo from how badly he was messing him up last game. And they don't
But
have Malgo's counter as a tank now, which is going to be a huge disadvantage for the range.
right. But I believe that there is a slight little problem in that little strategy, which is that the people who banned first here was EC. So with them banning Sigma, it means that Unicorn, if I understand the rules correctly, they're now no longer able to ban a tank, right?
Yeah.
So by banning this Sigma, it kind of almost protects all the other tanks that are available to them, and so it means that Unicorn range they can only really ban a DPS or a support.
Oh, I didn't know that, but yeah, as we can see, Shinzoku has gone back to the Malga, and that is going to be deadly. I think Diva would have been their best chance against the Malga, but they tried that in round one, and it obviously didn't work out for them. So I'm thinking we're about to see Unicorn Rage get defeated this round, to be honest with you. About to get shredded again.
Yeah, and we just had confirmation from our producer that I in fact got the rules correct. So they unfortunately, because Sigma got banned, they can't ban the Malga in response because it is
Well,
also
amazing on your part. Thank God someone knows what he's doing here. I don't, obviously.
I'm not so sure that's always the case, but we've seen an excellent little quick kill here from Unicorn Rage, pushing in aggressively. I like the play, getting the environmental kill as well onto Shadow AI. I mean, what else could you dream for as a first engage?
Oh, and we've got Farah. This is an interesting pick. I'm sure the Farah's going to have the Zen Ball for the most of the time, but I'm surprised we're not seeing a bit of Pharmacy, because obviously both teams seem to have a Mercy, I believe, like a Mercy main or like a Mercy one trick, I believe one of them was called by their team. Obviously, they've proven today that they're not Mercy one tricks, but I'm surprised we're not seeing Pharmacy, because I know how powerful that can be from past tournaments that I've competed in. And we used to hate coming up against a Pharmacy. That would just ruin our nights.
Yeah, well, you've certainly got a lot of things that can pressure a Pharah in the air. You've got, you know, your Ana, you've got your DPSs, typically, of course. But I feel like if you do choose to go Pharah Mercy, you're really limiting the kind of support the rest of your team can get. And unfortunately, though, as I've yapped, it seems like Shinzoku have gotten the victory here for now and are capturing the first point.
Yeah, they managed to do that with no deaths as well from that real brawl, so they don't really have to wait or regroup. They've got their entire team ready to push the castle. Hopefully they should flank round to the top, because that is an annoying chokehold, and especially considering they have a Junkrat on the team. He doesn't even need to be in sight for him to get a few easy picks and do insane damage to the team, because it's a small chokehold, that roll gate, and you only have 3 rooms in which you can come out of. So a Junkrat main is getting amazing value right now. And it seems like we've got a Junkrat ult. Is he going to be able to get an easy pick here though?
I don't know if he's ever going to get a frat kill. Certainly hoping for a good 5k, so we can see in the play of the game feed later, but it does not happen.
Hey, some people just want those Omnics out of their game. That's all I can say.
That's so rude.
That
I mean,
obviously upset.
Yeah, the one thing I hope they don't do is, because they've obviously Blizzard adding new characters, I hope they don't add ChatGPT or Gemini as any Omnics in the near future. Those would be the worst characters to add in this game.
Yeah, well, the match managed to avenge his brother Monk and kill the Junkrat who took out his Zen. Even if Zen's on the opposite team, they obviously still have that brotherly relationship in this game.
A slightly antagonistic brotherly relationship too, but unfortunately things are not looking quite so good. Unicorn Raid using the beat on themselves, the solo beat coming out. Unfortunately,
I don't. Finally flanking the top of the castle as well, but he doesn't get to get much value here. He instantly gets pushed down by the soldier. And somehow, I don't see how he managed to do that. Oh, but Soldier actually takes out the Kiriko, so there goes the Suzu, one of their strongest abilities, but Zen uses an ult to keep their Malgo alive on top of the castle. They could actually take the top of the castle here, which is going to be huge. Farah getting a cheeky little triple, and they're going to get some really good value here. Malgo holds the top of that castle as well. They're not going to have high ground for this next point, meaning they're not going to have to watch their back on the bridge, but he has dropped down. But it looks like they're trying to hold the door instead, which is definitely bold.
Well, I'm sure they're going to be coming out, rushing out soon. Here comes the Kitsune Rush as well to try and help them.
Lucio almost off the map. Who's that? Oh, Soldier. Obviously wasn't paying attention to his surroundings.
An important part of this game.
Yeah, especially on this point as well. You're on top of a bridge, death on each side. You don't want to be falling off here. And just like that, Shinzoku has managed to get to the point 2. Relatively unscathed as well. I don't believe they actually got wiped once there, which is a huge advantage for him. They just got to constantly push car after getting past that first gate.
Yeah, and realistically, it's always about the distance in Overwatch. It's not really about the fight wins. There's a number of examples throughout history of a team losing 8 fights and only winning 2, but they win the map because of the distance that the car made between those fights.
Yeah, and we've got a Freya now on the Unicorn Mage. That is an amazing counter to Farah, and it looks like we have managed to get a Bastion switch from the Farah, which is a smart move to be honest with you, because Freya is not doing anything against the Bastion, so if you get cornered by a Bastion and a Malga here, your health is just gone. Freya would have been amazing for taking out Farah. She's got the secondary fire, which does insane damage, and she's pretty good hit scanning if you use her right.
But unfortunately, it's just not going to be enough, and they're just going to roll on through after picking up the kill after kill after kill that they need to get the victory.
Genji
but
keeping him in spawn as well at the end there. Didn't give him a chance to come out at all. Oh, but did you see that change at the end there by the Unicorn Mage? We finally have a Reinhardt on home turf. This could be insane. At least for me, but you know, I'm a bit biased when it comes to that, man.
Well, as much as I'm also biased, and I love to see a Reinhardt, my favorite hero in the entire roster, I'm also very biased when it comes to hybrid maps, and
Oh,
I
there's Ryan's
strongly think
granddad.
that King's Row is the best map in the entire game as well. But we all
Oh
know
yeah,
it's not that
definitely.
map.
I would have loved to seen a bit of Kingsville, to be honest with you. I think it's just a great map. But then again, you could say it's like home turf for me again, because British and all. Love to seeing London, just not
That
being in
is,
it.
yeah.
Love to see it, don't want to be in it.
I
happening?
see.
We have a Diva now to go against the Malga. It didn't work the first game. Is it going to work the second, do you think?
I'm not sure. I think it could work the second time around, but it really depends on how they're going to be working together as a team, right? That Diva has really only got to be getting like one job, and that's basically going and shutting down the Mauga as much as possible so that everybody else can go and focus the Mauga and just delete them so that the Mauga can't get any lifesteal, can't get any fighting, can't get any damage, nothing. It takes a lot of resources, but it's going to put you in a stronger advantage, especially going in with all the other abilities that you have. And using those and timing those right, I think you have a chance, but it really comes down to the players.
And we finally got two Annas here. This is going into the other subclass of medic for the supports. So the Annas don't, the team actually doesn't have to worry as much about the Annas being dulled. They have a bit of extra survivability here by and Genji gets a pick, gets his dash refresh, doesn't get anything on the second though. But yeah, like I was saying, getting 25% of the healing that you're giving back to healing yourself. Brig almost getting her Anna killed there though with that shield and just not tanking the echo sticky bombs. Getting stuck again, but the Diva can't finish the Brig. It seems that tank raid boss Brig is still a thing, which used to be me back in the day, but you know, we all change.
Yeah, I really should be learning Brig myself, actually. Brig is one of those characters that I've never been able to understand how to play, but they're just so powerful. It's always evident in everything that you can see with the players doing. And honestly, I think this backline with the Brig is actually the main thing that's causing them to win these fights. I think Unicorn Rage with their support backline are just being a bit too greedy with the Zen Anna.
Yeah, definitely. I like to play melee characters in all shooter games, to be honest with you. So I really enjoy Brig. There's just like a feeling that you get when you know you can melee someone, get close enough, you know, when they're shooting at you, and take someone out the game using something like a mace or a knife. It's just an amazing feeling. That's all I can really say, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but unfortunately, I feel like this backline is just getting bullied just a little bit here. Unfortunately.
By the Nano Blade. Amazing combination of ults, a classic one.
Yeah, especially making use of the Echo Duplicate as well to really try and clean that up. And it's more than enough to capture the first point. And they now have 4 minutes on the bank, but I'm not entirely sure how well this next hold is going to go.
Well, we have the castle already in position. He went straight from the previous spawn to the top of the castle to hold, and he's got his Deadeye. Which is strange because I did not notice the cast at all, so I have no idea how he got that so quick, to be honest with you. But they have 4 ults altogether. Can they do anything to survive the Bastion? No, no picks from the Bastion. Quick stun on the Echo, gets it down to 1 shot, manages to finish, but he is also debuffed by the Zen. This is where a Kiriko would have been nice, to be honest with you, against the Zen as well. Considering that you can get 2 orbs now as well, 2 of each orb I believe, or is it just 2 of 1 healing orb? But either way, Kiriko could do amazing things against the Zen.
Yeah, I believe it's 2 healing orbs that Zen gets as one of their perks, which can be quite useful, but I'm not entirely confident that perks are going to be making any of the difference here that they need. A beautiful environmental kill, though, onto the Cassidy.
Again. She seems to love her environmental kills, this tank does.
Oh, I love my environmental kills, so I am all the happier for us. But just look
Am
at
I
how
the only
much
one who loves killing
progress
the
they got.
environment, not getting environmental kills? No, anyone else?
The queue up, please.
Oh,
Next in line.
Sorry. Anyway, where were we? Oh yes, Overwatch. Yeah, Diva trying to get some picks here. This could be a huge bomb here if she managed to do it right. Send it straight up because they are not in a position to get down to the stairs to the cover. If she gets it in that mountain cage even, that could have been good. That team would have been like trying to keep on the Malga, trying to give him a good bit of support. But yeah, D.Va hasn't managed to get her major perk yet, which would be amazing against this Malga.
Wow, that is true. You certainly got a couple of options for your D.Va major perk. You have one where, you know, your shotguns tighten in their radius and they do a little bit of extra damage, which could be really powerful. It's probably my preferred perk for the D.Va. And then, of course, you have
So you can actually hit your shots, can you?
Wow, I can hit my shots, okay?
Oh, using bomb to keep herself alive.
Gets
a
2K.
nice 2-pick on the Ana and the tank, so they are one support down and they have no one to tank the hits. Big gets wiped back here. Cheeky quad by the D.Va and the Genji. Can the D.Va actually block him from coming back though and storing point? Because they could take point right here. It's 4 people on point to have the maximum payroll speed, which is really what you want, but you also want to make sure that they don't get out. But D.Va blocks the wrong door, Malga manages to get in. And we're seeing a high noon from behind. Can Genji get him? Yep, Genji takes him out before he manages to do anything with that ult. And it looks like another cheeky team wipe by Unicorn Mage here. Oh wait, no. Ana gets away, sorry. That Grandma can be really sneaky at times. And D.Va's unlocked the major perk as well, which is the one that I would have chose here against the Malga, which gives her overshield and overhealth from damage that she absorbs. But he's gone Zarya, which is an amazing counter to D.Va. This D.Va is probably going to be thinking, I should switch at some point now. But then she would bereave her, I believe she would lose her major perk for that, which could be deadly at this point in the game.
Well, I think the major perk is going to be helpful in the fight against the opponents, but the amazing kill there, for double kill from the, sorry, from the
team kill.
I don't know what to say anymore. They just destroyed everyone and they're just rolling in. They didn't quite get the same amount of time back as their opponents, but
So
I mean,
25 seconds is a lot of time.
It was just like a roll. It was a breeze. Like, does either of these teams have any kind of defense on these last 2 points?
All I'm saying is get me in there. I'll defend it for them if they pay me enough. I'll die. I'll live with honor and die with glory on this map. Anytime.
I love the little comment that our producer has just sent to us. Both teams went, nah, we're an attacking team, and I have to agree with that sentiment. These two teams have done exceptionally well in their attack, but the defense is, I don't know where it's been.
Well, they say a good offense is the best defense, so if they're both attacking teams, surely they should be amazing defenders as well.
Surely. You just have to attack the attackers.
Yeah, but it seems that we're having a Zarya matchup here.
Ooh.
The D.Va did not want to go up against that Zarya again. It looks like we're getting Kiriko to go into a Zen, which could be good. If that could be amazing if someone gets these debuff orb. But yeah, we're also seeing a newish hero. Is it? No, it's not Venture. It's Vendetta. Is that how you say it?
Vendetta. Yeah.
Vendetta. That's it. Yeah. So I didn't. It was on the tip of my tongue. Got there.
Certainly the newest hero roster, and also the key figure in the story that has been dropped
killed
by.
Doomfist, I hear. Well, we didn't actually see him die, but you know.
No, yeah, exactly. The classic, you didn't see them die, so they're probably still alive trope in movies.
Yeah, but Shadow AJ is holding a pretty wide point here, but he's not getting much use out of the Zarya. Not getting much charge, not being able to tank as many hits. Getting him push up past the main chokehold as well, which isn't exactly something that I would do. But we're seeing that Mei, which was banned in round 1 from EC Shinzoku here, which could be pretty powerful if they manage to cut off a few of the Unicorn Mage's team from their supports or from their tank possibly, because they're not going to be able to bubble there and get some nice picks.
Yeah, Shinzoku here doing well on the defense so far, and I love this Mei pick as well. There's really been able to isolate them and prevent them from, hopefully getting charged at the very least. But
Zarya getting booped down and she gets wiped.
Just microwave down, completely destroyed.
And it looks like the May has managed to get both her perks as well, using the Mario Goomba Stomp on the major perk there. As
Yeah, but it's not going to be enough as a defense here. They've got 20 seconds left, but they still need to finish this off. They still need to get this fight over and done with before they can reinforce. But the tank, it's taking so long, the tank's already back. What is the story? They don't have much charge.
Yeah, but let's be honest, she can get charged easy. Especially here, this could see 71, but it's not enough. She just gets taken out. She's defeated by the Kiriko and the Zarya on the opposite team combo. Looks like they just about get overtime, but will they actually manage to take point? Of course they will, because that May was not surviving the 1v5.
I mean, I think you're going to have to see some incredible hero plays to see a May win a 1v5 situation. Now, I may love May, and I may have made some great plays in the past, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Well, someone doesn't have the May Q then, obviously. Not getting a 5-man.
But it's switched though with onto the monkey, which I'm a little bit surprised about. I mean, you do gain the opportunity to jump up and contest the space on the high ground in a way that you can't normally do as a Zarya. But I'm not sure the monkey's the great choice in the current states of Overwatch. Overclock comes out as well, not able to find the kills that they need. Just the monkey left now on the point.
No,
unfortunately goes down.
No, I was hoping that he would do some insane plays, to be honest with you. He left his bubble very late there. I don't know if it was on cooldown or just like he felt like he could survive without it for a good while.
I think they jumped up to the high ground and used it then.
Poor guy.
At the earlier point in the fight, so then the teammates unfortunately just went down all too quickly. The overclock came out, not finding the kills that they needed to. Just wasn't quite the open space.
Well, I wonder what we're going to see here on round 4. I wonder... Didn't expect a round 4 this early on, to be honest with you, but
no,
we're seeing a slight change as well with the heroes. I was going to say, the Lucios seem quite frequent, like a trend that doesn't really change much, but he didn't look like he was going to change for a second, so he was just reading a sign in a way. What a mean man. But both teams are mirroring the Lucio again. They both have a Lucio main, but are they going to be able to do much healing? Are we going to see much value out of the Lucio's aura circles here?
Yeah, well, Lucio gets a lot of value in a lot of different ways because you've got your left clicks, to do a tremendous amount of damage onto an enemy player. So following up on your DPS and the rest of your team is a really important part of playing Lucio. You've also got the beat as well, which can just help you survive through a tremendous amount of ults. So there's huge value for the ults. You've got great mobility as well, so you can kind of go in those flanks, get in and out as you need without exposing yourself to too much risk.
Yeah, but it looks like that both teams have sort of chosen a medium range ball composition here. Venture managing to get in the middle of the team, doesn't get a pick though. The Malga is rushing again. He is deadly. She manages to get a pick on Soldier, but Soldier trades with her. So they are both one man down, and we have seen here the Ragers get reduced down to 2 people, and same with Shinzoku. But they seem to be coming back pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't quite know what Unicorn Range are doing, but they seem to be kind of walking around inside, leaving the rest of the players on the point to just mind their own business, not able to pick it to kill, and then needed another Malga's back.
Yeah, they should have really tried to be more defensive here. Like, they were far too aggressive here. I guess that the best defense isn't a good offense in this case. You obviously want someone on point at all times. You can't, but then again, they don't want to be sandwiched from the next ball with 2 people behind them, 3 people in front. It could be deadly for their backline. But yeah, Shinzoku manages to take the first point, and let's see if they manage to push the cart in the last 51 seconds.
Absolutely, and they've got a huge advantage as well, because last time Unicorn Range, they went in overtime by this point, but Shinzoku, they don't. They have a whole minute to just waffle around, maybe go and take a quick little picnic, lunchbox with them, perhaps, as they hopefully look to take their first map win in the series.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these teams charging onto point, surely with Amalgahol coming out, trying to isolate a few members, but goes down, and that might be all that
just
they
gets
need Unicorn
deleted.
Rage to take it on. And now
They need to
Shinzoku,
hold
they've
him
got one
off
fight
point
left.
for 10 seconds here. They do not want to give him overtime, but Ruscio seems to be running in, runs the opposite way all of a sudden. He was their only chance of getting overtime, but yeah, Speed manages to come in, gets overtime. Huge kill call. They have the bar again. We have a Ruscio beat here. Everyone's got all the health. Malga uses Cage, gets a few wipes with the Genji, and this might be it.
Oh, no way!
1v1.
No way! 1v1!
2v1
1v2
for the
situation
point.
with the Zarya! Oh,
This
they
is
almost
it.
had it! I don't believe this!
Can anyone get back in time? No, the
Nobody's
Ruscio
getting
was
back in
wiped.
time!
What an ending. I think I saw like 4, maybe 5 ults get popped there. Yes, and that
No
draws it up
way.
to 1-1 for both teams.
Oh, Unicorn Rage, they had it in the cards at the very end, and then they just kind of slowly, pieces took other pieces in the game plan. It all came down to like a 2v1, a 1v1, and then Shinzoku, they came in with reinforcements and took the fight victory.
Yeah, kind of a mid-player game there as well. It looked like it was only a cheeky double. But once again, who would have guessed it was an attacking player game? Both teams were said to be attackers. We obviously weren't going to see much from the defensive sides in the player game because, let's be honest, past the first point, they weren't defending. They just couldn't.
No, they really weren't defending, unfortunately. But sometimes it's it's not about where you are or what you do and things like that. It can really be about making sure that the cart is not making any progress or as much progress as possible if you're attackers. So even if you're defending, um it's much more important to keep the cart from making lots of progress where you where oh sorry making it as costly as possible for the attackers to make carts progress as possible. That's really where a lot of these things come in, and sometimes that does mean that you play a little bit differently rather than just trying to go and hunt for that juicy little kill of that nimble little Lucio who's running around in the back. Um,
Yeah,
Sometimes
definitely,
it just means that you
definitely.
gotta press Q a whole bunch and displace people.
Well, Q's the ultimate, ain't it? Sorry, I'm a PS player, so I'm not actually sure. But yeah, that was definitely way closer match than the first one. Getting into round 4, you don't actually see that much in competitive matches anymore. At least in
No,
my experience, the ones that I
yeah,
play.
that is true. Actually, we don't tend to see many matches go quite like that long. They usually end up with a quick little victory one way or another. Sometimes it doesn't even get to second point or third point. Rarely in these kind of matches because one team just usually has greater map knowledge, greater understanding of the heroes and how to utilize them in in a way that allows them to win, to outplay their opponents.
Yeah, definitely. Um, well, I'm wondering what we're going to see for the next match, to be honest, because we haven't actually seen the infamous ball from the, I believe it was the Unicorn Rage team that have an infamous ball player, and we haven't seen any Mercy. But I believe that their Corn player has been playing a good bit of Ana, which is apparently their favorite hero, not their most played. So, that Mercy one trick is actually changing up a bit, but we're getting a good amount of them favorite the team's favorite heroes in each game, but no one seems to say anything about Malga, which I'm still very surprised about. He came out of nowhere.
They certainly did come out of nowhere. Malga is not the kind of choice that I was normally expecting. A lot of the times in Malga, you'd sort of, at least when they first came out, you were sort of forced to play around the Malga. You either sort of shut them down so hard that they couldn't play, or you were forced to play around the Malga. So, um, There isn't
Yeah.
really, there wasn't really much in between.
Yeah, Malga is a menace. But anyway, what are these teams playing for again?
That is
Where are they
true.
trying to get to?
They are playing to get their ticket guaranteed to the grand finals for the Challenger division. But the Challenger division actually isn't the only division that we have. These are the standings for the Challenger division, but we also have another division as well, and it's above Challenger division called Champion
Yeah, champion,
division.
isn't it?
And this one has a whole bunch of teams. Look at that, 23 teams in total, which is honestly an incredible number to see in any sort of a small tournament like this.
Yeah, I know where my team would be in division-wise. It would obviously be champion. Somewhere probably in the top one, I'd say, if we were
Oh,
here.
okay.
But, we just had to let another team get in a small esports bracket.
The thing that stands out to me the most, though, is that Burning Monkeys are at the top of the board, which I am glad to see because when
Yeah, the other
I the
Berlin team
very
hasn't even reached the top 10.
oh yes, sorry, I was just going to say that when at the very start of the season, I made a little prediction. The very first match went down between Berlin Monkeys and Apollo Sedna, and I said that those two teams are going to be at the top of the division board. And I mean, I wasn't wrong. Berlin Monkeys at the top, but I was wrong about something else though, and that is
Apollo, obviously
APL
not.
Sedna, which you might notice, are not on this standing. You can't see them anywhere.
Yeah, how was that first game of the season? Was it, well, like, how'd it go? Was it a steamroll? Like, were the Bourbon Monkeys this amazing team that we should all look forward to? Or was it like a quite even match? Have all the games been quite even? Like, what would you say has been going on?
Oh, that's a great question. I would say that a lot of these matches have been rather close. And if you do want to catch up and see that first match, you can do so by going over to our YouTube channel, Crown Cup Esports, and rewatch that first match between Berlin Monkeys and APL Sedna. Unfortunately, just to clarify just a few little things, APL Sedna do not appear on there because, unfortunately, they have chosen to step back out of the tournament, which is a little bit sad to see and hear. And I do wish them all the best. But I was certainly hoping that they might have gone for a rematch because that first map, if I remember correctly, was a 5-map banger to start out this series. And that is a crazy way to start out the season with a 5-map banger between those two teams. And I mean, and they're at the top of the team tables. I think it was just it's almost destined to be. But unfortunately, they're not going to be having any rematches.
Yeah, only looking at that. Well, apparently this is the first non-3-0 match that is streamed as well. So this is going to definitely be an interesting night for us. And I think that we should all stick around. But right now, we are going to go on a small break. I believe it's 5 minutes, something like that. And
Yeah,
we will
quick.
be back with more amazing matches shortly.
Yeah. Welcome back after a short little break, probably caused by our incessant amounts of yapping. We're gonna go quickly over though some of the other maps that have matches, sorry, that have happened while we were streaming. San Francisco Slop versus Don't Cross the Line have won 3-0. Apollo Soul versus EC Eclipse have won 3-0, and Mystic Coven 3-0, establishing a team. So a good little round there for an Apollo team. Soul and EC Eclipse, unfortunately, not doing so well. But I have already been told off once for my excessive yapping. And Ollie, I think we're just an absolute terrible pair for that when it comes to yapping. So let's
Yeah,
try and get back into the next map as soon as we can.
all I'm saying though is those guys were lucky. I still had you yapping in my ear during that break. But those other
Wow.
matches obviously weren't as interesting as As, because
Wow.
As is close. It's not a 3-0. It's going to be a way better performance for people to watch in. So don't go watching those matches. Stay here.
That is true. This match is already shown to be an exciting one and a close one for sure. So I am very glad to see that we have been picked for broadcasting this one. But we do have the
Yeah,
map pick already coming out here from Unicorns. They've chosen Watchpoint Gibraltar as their map, a map that's well known
amazing.
for its kind of divey compositions and its high ground, but it has received a lot of changes recently in the new update. And how do you feel about those?
To be honest, I don't think noticed much changes in the new update for Watchpoint Gibraltar. Like, all I can really say about it is it's an amazing map. It always has been. You've got some great high ground spots for snipers. You've got some excellent line of sights, and you can just have these little hidey spots if you were smart enough, which just puts you pretty much in out of sight, but you can get some amazing picks from them. And it's also quite close quarters at times as well. If you don't have someone on that high ground, you can easily just turn it into a nice little brawl map, with the close quarters. Like in the warehouse, you have a lot of twists and turns for which are great for shotguns, melee heroes, that kind of stuff. And you've got loads of walls for people like Ryan to get an easy pick. You don't have to take them halfway across the map, and you're not breaking formation too much.
Yeah, that is important to do so. You can't really be breaking formation. Um, the and the sightlines can be absolutely deadly. But with some of the changes that have been made to the map, and I'm just kind of loading them into my brain because there's a lot of changes that have happened in the map. The bridge at the very start of the map that has been damaged and broken, so it's no longer just quite as easy to get over there. You don't have the same sort of place to sort of rotate around or to stage up there in the same way that you used to. There's
Yeah.
some debris on top of the rocket in the second point as well, which interrupts some of the sightlines then you might normally would use, especially at a high level. The typical, oh, just go up to the high ground and just shoot them from down there. Not quite so effective anymore. So there's a few changes here and there that definitely disrupt some sightlines and opportunities that you would normally have been a bit more used to.
Yeah, and Escort is way different to maps like game modes like Domination as well, when you think about it, because you have to constantly be on the move. You can't just hold one point when you're attacking or like defending. You're constantly having to like evolve. You don't want the enemy team to push even 1 meter, to be honest, because 1 meter in an escort map is just a major difference. It's the difference between a win and a loss, no matter what game you're on as well. It's always the same.
It really can be the difference between a win and a loss. Trying to take that right space, attacking, and you name it. So, um, I'm interested to see
Yeah,
what
and
heroes they
both
pick.
teams are gonna want to take space here as well.
Oh, sorry. Yes, you really do want to be taking space, especially the high ground as well, because that's usually where people are going to be setting up. High ground is always your best
Oh yeah,
friend. So,
and especially when we look at Unicorn Rage's teams, I believe they have a lot of hit scan players like Soldier and they have Ash. Ash is definitely going to be an amazing pick for this map. And if we do see the Mercy from Korn, we might see a damage boosted Ash, which could basically just make any hero one-shottable after a quick cheeky peek by that little combo there. And with the way that this map is positioned, well, the high ground is, if you are defending with an Ash damage boosting Mercy, the Ash isn't going to be taking too much damage. You got the health packs all around, so the Mercy can also easily abandon the Ash for a good while and not have to worry about that player. So we could see a lot of Mercy value, especially with her new major perk, which allows her healing stream to move to multiple heroes as well at the same time.
Yeah, but I'm not entirely confident that's always going to be the best option. I think some of the utility that you're going to get from Kiriko and the ultimate as well from Kiriko are just vastly more
Oh, no
powerful
matter,
than
you're not
a
getting
Mercy.
Kiriko here.
And yeah, I mean, they banned Kiriko. I mean, I guess that makes sense. Really, Kiriko can be quite powerful in shutting down attacks, and you've got your cleanse, you got your TP to get out of trouble, you got a lot of survivability, you can do
And
damage
she's
as well.
amazing for clutching up that second heals, if someone's critical, teleport over, quick Suzu, gets them straight back into the game, and gives us, like, if you have a tank fighting Gavon on point, and she's coming back from spawn, she can easily teleport in, and that's just going to be amazing for getting the DPS back in, getting the rest of the team, and turning the tide in the fight.
Absolutely. It really is valuable. And making good use of that in those situations is probably one of the key parts of playing Kiriko, especially aggressively as well. You have that ability to really just make the fight last a little bit longer by going into your teammates to supply them with healing and also to get some damage as well. I mean, it's like turning something from a 1v2 into a 2v2 situation. Sorry, into
From a
a 1v1 into
1v5
2v2.
to a 2v5 to a 5v5, it's pretty
Oh, yeah,
big.
yeah, absolutely. And it just prevents them from getting that kill. It's if you use them right, it's kind of like a Baptiste immortality field, but sure, it's a little bit shorter, but it just comes with so much more ability to use it in a number of different situations. It's so much more valuable in that way than Baptiste could ever hope to be.
Yeah, well, I'm just wondering if we're actually going to... Oh, the game's starting, sorry. I was going to say if we're actually going to see any subs being made, but it doesn't look like we have. I believe it's the same people from the last two games. Because I would have subbed in the Ash player on Unicorn Mage here. I think she would have been huge for this map. But it looks like we've got Sim as well. Sim's always good on this map for defending, but they're using her on attack, which is an interesting play. I'm assuming they're going to stick turrets onto the back of car or the front of car so that they can't really overextend. But we're also having the Winston mirror matchup here and the Soldier mirror matchup. Even Anna. So, Kiriko would have been huge here, but obviously she's banned, and it looks like they're teleporting straight up to the high ground, trying to get a bit of a push onto the not expecting Unicorn Mage.
But unfortunately, somebody gets caught off guard rather quickly. The
Soldier
angle was not for them.
That's all I can say about that. But this Soldier is different. Takes out the Anna as well, which is going to be a huge disadvantage here for Shinzoku.
But unfortunately, the little Venture duel against the Genji not working out. Sure, it is kind of in the Venture's favor, given the matchup between these two characters, but...
the Venture's favor? Well, we definitely have different views on that one. I think the Genji with his defect would have been better, to be honest with you. But Genji shouldn't have really pushed that fight, I don't think. I think that Venture can knock him about a bit too much, and of course she gets... Oh, it looks like he was right. She does manage to... they do manage to get the pick on the Genji, and Winston diving the annoying Soldier up top, but also being chased down by the mirror of Winston, and Venture coming in to help, but obviously not being able to do much and falling back in.
Well, I don't think it really matters, because for Shinzoku, they managed to honestly accomplish what they needed to. They've managed to displace them off of that high ground, push them away, and now, if they want to retake that, they've got to, try and get into the attackers now in that position.
And it looks like we've got a mirrored Brig Raid here, Brig Raid boss, which is definitely going to make it interesting. Brig can dive in with the Winston. It's a great combo from back in the day. 2 shields, and she'll easily be able to get the cooldown in case she needs to shield bash back out of a fight. And, well, Winston's just a great tank for Brig because obviously of her passive ally, like healing aura sort of thing, where if she does any damage, anyone within 32 meters range will get heals constantly for 4 seconds. But it looks like Unicorn Mage could not hold the first point, and with 4 minutes 12 to go, Shinzoku have captured first point.
Yeah, absolutely. They've captured the first point, which is doing incredibly well. But now it's all about these ultimates that are online for both of these teams, and whoever's going to be able to make the best use of it is really going to come out the winner. You don't want to overcommit too much, but you want to get them down just right and make them maximize the value that you can get off of them. Nano comes out here.
Shinzoku as well, managing to push Mage off the high ground, which is really what they want. Because they have got a lot of close range heroes, and Rage has only got their 1 hit scan in the Bobby, which is going to be a huge pain for them. So they obviously want that gone. But yeah, Shinzoku once again winning the brawl and making Rage have to go into a full reset. But going in by himself, Winston here, he's obviously not going to have his jump in time to get out. Takes half of his health and has to retreat. Letting Unicorn Rage Winston push the enemy team and get a good defense, pushing him off point. Reaper getting a few nice picks. But on half health, can he beat the hit scan of the team? He does. He also has ultimate. Will we? Oh, gets stiffed by the soldier and ultimate, so we're not seeing the Reaper ult just yet. Winston destroys the Brigitte ulting.
Sorry, I think that's just all that they really needed to do as well. You know, they get the kill where they need to on the player who has the ult. Now they can't use that to continue the attack, to try and find a couple of picks, and that's all you really need as well with a Reaper ult, is you only need to get a couple of picks. But I'm also interested as well in this Reaper because the Reaper was a hero that got banned last round, so I wonder if there's a reason for that we have not yet seen.
Well, also when it comes to the Reaper ult here, you've got 2 amazing counters for sort of deflecting it. You've got Genji the effect, of course, which is also I was looking at prompting there, but you've got the Winston shield, which obviously can tank around 1000 hits, which is a lot of damage, and then in case that fails, you've got a Brig shield as well. If you can get your team to rally up behind you, or even just the Winston shield will give you enough time to get out of there. But Unicorn Mage here keep on getting off point, which is a very deadly thing, which is 3.94 meters. But that can be gone in just 2 seconds if they get
I think that it seems to me though that they have everything under control. They are finding the picks that they need to, and they are organized. It looks nothing like the kind of fights and team coordination that we were seeing at the very first round. Truly, then, it seems like you said, it was just a warm-up round for them. They have been working well, coordinating those attacks, jumping onto the enemy team where they need to, and now they've got a couple of ultimates to their disposal that they are surely going to be using to turn the fight around.
Here. She needs to get on point. Winston jumps off, letting the Venture get on. She's surrounded though now. She's on roll grounds. She's being shot at by people from all sides here. Where is the soldier? Is what I want to know in this fight, because as the only hit scanner in the lobby, she should be utilizing her range. Then again, you do have the Yanas as well, which could go well with a soldier, but the Yanas seem to be getting quite up close and personal as well, which is a big surprise. They do not have any mobility. They only have like 1 defensive thing for themselves, which is the sweep dart, of course. But
Yeah,
there used to be the one-shot combo as well on the squishy hero with the sweep dart, grenade, and just a shoot melee. Surprised we haven't seen many of these, but it looks like we have 2 nanoed Winstons here.
Yeah, coming at each other now, finding the kills that they need
Both
to.
getting the backlines deleted, but both coming back to fight on point. This is a battle of the monkeys. Venture pushing Shinzoku Winston off point, but Shinzoku Winston manages to get his ult and wipe the rest of Unicorn Mage, giving them point 2.
Well, I mean, that's a lucky little end there for Shinzoku. And Unicorn Range, they were just demolishing and holding that last point, that second point there, so well. They just kept trying to come back, and you know they were demolishing the team. They were just unfortunate to see that they fell at the very last hurdle when all was riding on them, on their success. The Ultimates just not able to find the value that they needed. They're now here on the high ground, looking and coordinating together onto a push, onto the back line, presses Q, finds a kill, but gets traded out.
Managed to get one. Chat seems to be demanding a snow POV at some point. Snow Frost POV. It seems that, what do you call it? Shinzoku has more fans in the chat than Unicorn Rage today.
30 seconds.
Yeah, and some people even asking for predictions, but you may not have any channel points to wager, unfortunately, today. I don't quite understand what's going on, but it doesn't mean that you can't type your predictions in chat. And no cake, you cannot predict that someone will win that. I will not accepting that as a valid prediction.
Why? I think she's pretty right there. I'd say someone's gonna win. I don't think we can actually see a draw anymore on Escort, can we?
This ends now.
Because as soon as you hit that final point, side of the wall, which is the same amount of distance on around 4, I believe it is, or around 3, you know that you've won the game, so there's no sort of draw. So we're going to see a win, and it's best of 5, of course, so we need to have a winner. This is a tournament, we don't do draws here, not in esports. This ain't football. We go till someone wins, someone has to dominate.
There are not many rounds or maps where you can get a draw nowadays. 2CP has been removed, thank goodness, but you know, you can still potentially get a draw on a
Keep it
hybrid map, for
down.
example, if neither of
I'm on the
is able to
mic.
capture any points of the first point. You know, you don't get any ticks in the capturing, and so that would result in a draw in that situation. So it is entirely possible to get draws, and usually that's the best option that you have for a team, and yet they are still able to pull it off. But we're going to be
Well, I
seeing
don't think I've seen a draw in years, to be honest with you, especially in this game.
I have
from my
seen
own
quite a few
experience.
draws. I can't remember when the last one that I've seen was, but you know, it'll be
Fill
interesting
me with
if I do get
confidence
to see
about
another
this
draw.
draws theory here,
Yeah,
to be honest with you.
I'm not entirely sure what's the rarest kind of thing to see in a competitive match, though. I'm sure some nerd somewhere will be crunching numbers to find what that is, but
Well, it looks like we're having a change on the tanks from Shinzoku. Going with a Diva, which is not a good matchup against a Winston whatsoever, because she has got her defense matrix does nothing against his electricity streamer, of course, as we know. And it looks like they've gone for more of a flying sort of type, because obviously they have way more mobility with the Farah and the Diva. And the Brig can give great support to both of these, but, well, not really the Farah, because I don't think the field actually would reach that high in the air if I was at my side. And it looks like we're having a slow start, no picture.
yeah,
Genji
well,
trying to get a few snipes. Oh, Winston finally jumps up to Shinzoku's defensive line on top of the bridge. Genji drops down, tries to 1v1 the other Genji. He is missing all of his shots. Obviously a fumbler here. Manages to get the health pack, I believe that was, from Shinzoku. Doesn't Unicorn Rage can't manage to steal it. But yeah, still no picks yet. This sprawl is going on for a while, but they are not defending that well. But then again, there's not much attacking going on anymore. They managed to push him off point, but they're just not watching the point as much. We only have this Genji Snowfrost, which seems to be the fan favorite so far in our chat. So
perhaps. But
obviously, oh no,
they-
manages to defeat the other Genji as well. Love to see it.
this is currently an incredibly dry fight by both these teams, and yet Unicorn Range is coming out on top so far. But this,
We're seeing a mirror battle as well with the Anna and the Bricks just like shielding each other whilst the Anna snipe it out, you know? That's a real funny fight that was going on, but the Winston had to ruin it for us. I was interested in that one, I was invested, I wanted to see who was going to win. Looks like it might continue here though, but no, Sojourn, only hits can heal. Is that a Genji and a Winston dive? Takes out the Anna. Gun takes out the Brig as well. Both supports gone on Unicorn Mage, giving our team no defense.
Yeah, no
I
defense
mean,
at all.
sorry,
I mean,
no attackers. Sorry.
you're
way
right.
around.
Sorry, no attackers.
Well, sorry, this game's a
dude.
bit more complex. The teams don't exactly have a uniform.
No. Although they do have plenty of ultimates online for them now, so we'll see whether they are able to make good use of that.
Potential ults for this next fight.
I want to see a Nano Break on it.
3, 4 more about to come in. Oh, here you go.
Nano Blade, never mind.
Fantastic, but he gets antied. I think that this Genji has no support and gets taken out by the Winston. And we see a Brigitte ultimate immediately after this. Anna almost gets dipped on Shinzoku, but they once again get dived by the Genji Winston combo. Big pops it all, keeping both of the support survive. And was that a nano? Big?
I believe we did get a Nano, at least on both sides. Diva Bomb comes out, is not able to find anyone with the remake, but surely it's going to be enough to try and stave off the attack here from Unicorn Rage.
Amazing defense by the Winston.
It could be more than enough, surely.
Seems as well that the fans in chat finds that the fact that Shinzoku are on Farah as a Hail Mary of sorts. Or maybe Shinzoku are struggling more than they're letting on at this point. But it looks like
maybe.
not having a good time defending.
No, not at all. This the Unicorn Range are doing a great job with their dives. They're playing this, you know, almost perfectly. Really, they're not being challenged, at least, to be making any mistakes that are truly obvious. The only times that I've seen them lose are really down to ult economy and advantage. It's really going to be interesting. We see another switch though with the support now. Juno, which is a bit of an interesting pick.
Well, I think it's going to be great for getting back to the fight sort of thing, you know. Juno's got great mobility. She can easily, like, what do you call it, contest a point with her hyper ring, and of course, she has got that passive where all the healing she does actually gives 25% back when using, if it's from her primary fire, which is great for her survivability if she has even one person on point with her. Because her and a Winston would do insane things, but the Juno doesn't seem to be working for the defense here, as they are basically on point. I believe they've taken that point actually. It looks like they have. Yes, the door is open. They took point 2. Unicorn Rage pushing up, gets a nice nasty double on his dash, gets it back on the Bastion, diffs the other Genji once again. Why is he even playing Genji anymore in Shinzoku? Snowfrost should just get off the Genji. He's not winning it.
I don't know. I think Snowfrost has done some incredible plays on the Genji in the earlier maps, but unfortunately this time around though for Shinzoku, Unicorn Rage have won in dominant fashion on this map.
And Unicorn Rage takes the win. 2-1.
I mean, they played this incredibly well. It's
It's
really
the
no
Snowfrost
surprise
that
to
you
me.
were talking about as well, the Genji plays.
They're gonna get some POV at long last.
Yeah, and it looks like a nice cheeky triple.
Uh-huh.
I believe I remember this. They just managed to wipe the team at the end. No, it was a quad. Very nice by Snowfrost. The fan favorite getting a quad.
I mean, that is the kind of things that you really like to see, is them getting. But unfortunately, not all of their blades were quite so big as we might have wanted. We've certainly seen some impressive ultimates recently, but unfortunately, today was not the day for them at the very least. This map series, though, is a best of 5 map series, and now it is match points for Ukraine. Sorry, Ukraine. Oh my word! Unicorn Rage.
Ukrainian players in here today. But yeah, it seems that the chat finds any Genji player goated, but it's just against the father that Shinzoku actually pulled out.
Oh no!
Yeah.
The Farah picks are good. I'm gonna defend this from chat. Chat, you don't know what you're talking about. Farah is a good hero.
It's annoying. It's an annoying hero is what she is. I'm with chat on this.
Sounds like you just need to get better at it, is what I'm hearing.
Hey, it's not a skill issue, I promise you that much. I can take her out, but she's still annoying.
Actually, one of my favorite maps to play is Shambali Monastery with the Farah, you've got a lot of opportunities to really make use of the high ground. You can just batter people in the choke points forever. You can just keep your distance. It's great, and you can go on flanks. It's a lot of fun. Actually,
Yeah, but
I'm surprised that we didn't see a Malga with this Farah as well, because I mean, obviously, Watch Point Gibraltar, Malga map. Gosh, no.
yeah, I was gonna say that's questionable, Malga on Watchpoint, to be honest with you.
We have okay, but we have seen some ridiculous picks before on Circuit Royale. We have seen people bring out the Malga Genji before.
Okay, that's a good point. But either way, we have our next map up now. It looks like we are going to Savassa. Totally different part of the world to where we've been so far. We've been sticking mainly around Europe and I believe the Caribbean. So now we're going to the Asian maps, which is going to be fun. But the chat, that game as well, they wanted some of Snowflake's POVs, but all they seemed to get when we did get his POV was a horrible, horrible, sad nano bird. So I hope they're happy with what they asked for.
Chat, you were the ones who asked for this, you know. So what can I say?
Yeah, they sometimes what you want isn't what you thought you wanted, I guess. But I
Yeah.
wonder if both teams are ready. What do you think we're going to see on Sylvester? Because there's some amazing spots for that ball, just to knock
That is
people off the
true.
map, especially on the right side point. We have the water just next to the point, and you can knock people back down to the roll ground in a lot of the areas there, which is going to be pretty useful for teams trying to defend the point. But it looks like Snow doesn't want to play his Genji anymore.
No,
He's
it's not.
sad
It's not
about
allowed. It's not allowed. Unicorn Rage is banning the Genji.
Yeah, he's sad about about the nano blades he was. Well, I would say pulling off, but he wasn't pulling them off very well, was he at all? I wouldn't really call it that. But Diva is an interesting pick. I'm very surprised about that. She's annoying on this map to come up against. Amazing to play on this map, but I just don't know what they're gonna play. Like, what tank do they want to play Shinzoku where they have to ban Diva of all people?
Well, I mean, like you were saying, the Diva is a strong option against the Malga, and although we might not have seen it work too well in the very first round, in their warm-up map, they did use it to pretty good effect in the second map. So perhaps that's why they don't want that Diva. They want to be picking out that Malga, and it is their map to pick, and they have picked Suravasa. And I suppose you could, Malga kind of works with Suravasa. Maybe Junker Queen also works on the Suravasa. Does
Yeah.
Reinhardt work on Suravasa?
Reinhardt works on every map, no matter where you are.
Absolutely.
If
Correct
you're a true
answer.
Reinhardt at heart, you will be able to
Correct
play any
answer.
base. Just depends what armor you're wearing. Obviously, if you might want to wear the beach skin for Reinhardt on this one, so he doesn't get too hot. Just be conservative.
Yeah, I think the beach skin surely is gonna like increase your attack power by like at least
It's a good
10% when you're on
distraction,
this.
like I know what I'm looking at if I come up against that. I'm not looking at the hammer coming towards my head. I'm looking at those pecs that man is packing.
Absolutely, those are the kind of things that we want to see here. Not close games, not crazy plays, not whatever happened at the very end of Map 2 on Iconfold. My word. Oh.
Yeah, just some Reinhardt missiles. But it looks like we are going back to the Malga versus Sigma showdown. Unicorn Mage's Sigma is actually pretty good. Like, he did amazing work against the Malga. He destroyed him, shut him straight down. I'm surprised we didn't see a Sigma or Malga ban, to be honest with you, because we've had Malga pretty much every game, and then, let's be honest, they were going to go Sigma.
Well, I mean, I think
they had a Malga.
Yeah, it's an obvious choice, really, when your opponent is going to be insta-picking that Malga. There's no real other option available. It's going to be doing quite much
reports as
impact.
well with the Kiviko and the Lucio. So, it's got a pretty even heal output here if they're playing him right, but it depends if one Lucio just wants to do speed and no heal, But Venture trying to get a quick dive here. Doesn't manage to pick up any kills. Soldier manages to take out a Malga somewhere. I believe that was on the bridge. where was that fight actually happening?
Nobody knows. It
I
was a
hope you
quick
know
fight
how to
though.
break into a Disney song there, Yaffa.
Oh yes, yeah, absolutely, a Disney song. Gosh, what Disney songs can I sing that will not get us demonetized and removed from Twitch? I do not know.
That's how you're gonna lose your position here. You're just gonna sing Disney songs and get monetized. That would not be good for the studio.
Yeah, that would not be good. I think Anarchy might have a few stern things to say to me if I had started
I
singing.
think you might be causing anarchy if you was to do that.
Oh
Once again,
yeah.
getting an easy pick on the Reaper. Seems like each one of the fights that they win starts with a soldier and pick. So I'm predicting Unicorn Rage taking this little brawl that we have going on right now. We have two of them critical, one on half health. Lucio getting deleted from somewhere near enough. But the bench is holding him back pretty well. They've got their push as well. Malga's being changed to a Matcha as well, which is, once again is a good pick against the Sigma. But will we see a Sigma change? That's my question. Soldier gets taken out by the Sigma. And then we got another Soldier taking out Shinzoku's Shinzoku support, Jesus. And Lucio finishing their supports off.
I mean, that's
I
all
lost my
that they
train
really
of
need
thought
to
there
do.
with the
Yeah, but I mean, Unicorn Rage though are in a massive advantage. They basically didn't have to use any ultimates at all for that. And
yeah, that's amazing.
yeah,
Got
I mean,
4 ultimates. Well, 5 ultimates.
Five
Lucio's
ultimates.
going to get his as soon as he hits one person here. But then again, Shinzoku's only got 1, which is a huge disadvantage here. But Kiriko's almost got hers. Sigma ulting gets a
Hits the tank.
cheeky pick on the tank, but gets Suzu'd, and then it doesn't matter. They get the
doesn't
read
matter. They
anyway.
are all getting melted. They have this.
Oh, Soldier and Diff again.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Unicorn Rage. They have this team on lockdown. They know exactly how they're playing, what they're doing. They've adapted perfectly. And
Well, first game
it's showing
must have
really.
been a warm-up. Since that first game, they have pulled it back. They have got they know what works now. They know what the enemy hates. They're playing against to their disadvantages amazingly. Benji gets a good pick on the Vendetta, and then gets the double on the Lucio. There are 2 people down. The tank, Unicorn's tank, manages to diff the Ramatra and gets another pick on the Soldier, and with Lucio finishing off the fight, killing the Kiriko.
You know what's funny is I was actually going to predict this map was going to be series was going to
Dolphy,
be
keep it down.
1 in favor of Unicorn. So if you're catching Scorigami, not only do I think that's a pretty uncommon map series scoreline to see, but also one that we might be seeing sooner rather than later. But Shinzoku are coming out here using the beats aggressively, trying to pick up the kill, but unfortunately, Unicorn Rage are shutting down this aggression. They're able to pick up the kill on Obito. Yes, player. And coming in from behind. Oh, huge double kill here from the Venture.
That's amazing.
Catching them
Rage
off guard
getting a
on the
quad
flank. And now
and
Unicorn
taking the
Rage
second
got
point.
1 point left to get the victory of the series.
This might just be a stomp for Unicorn Rage. Might be trampling on him with their hooves. I don't know if unicorns do have hooves.
Perhaps. I mean, Shinzoku here, they've Shizoku. Well, they're going to be facing a little bit of difficulty if they do not win this. Because Unicorn Rage are trying to secure the ticket to the grand finals.
Yeah, I think Unicorn Mage has got the finals in the bag. They've made the comeback. They've obviously worked hard for it. You know, they've really looked at what works well for Shinzoku and just made sure they counter it. As
But you
simple as.
can't be having that kind of attitude though in these kind of competitive games, because before you know it, EC Shinzoku, they could be the ones prying open that little weakness of that mental game there, and that's all that they need to turn it around.
Yeah, who
It's
knows?
still
They
got
might just be
potential.
really charitable. Just giving them a few wins, you know, not to make it interesting, to make them feel good.
Charitable?
Might be about to
Charitable? We're calling this charitable?
Hey,
What?
they might be about to make the comeback of the century. They just wanted us to have a good show, you know. Really thinking about us casters, giving us something to talk about.
Oh,
But
okay,
looks
okay.
like the Sigma tried to take point there, but didn't manage to before we cap, and gets taken way back towards his team. Doesn't manage to save most of them. They are down 2 people. No, just the one. By the looks of things.
I can't believe you're throwing so much shade in this match.
Hey, someone's gotta do it. I'll be the professional hater. I don't mind.
I see, I see.
Yeah, I can be quite stern when it comes to my games. I'm expecting great stuff, but I also like to think that there are charitable people out there, you know. Nice people.
Right. Charitable, giving them a little bit of glimmer of hope in the victory.
Yeah, just to crush it in their fist. It makes it all that much better when you get to give them hope.
Okay,
and take it
I
away
don't
from
think
them.
that's charitable. That sounds a little bit, you know,
Yeah,
edging
sorry,
into a whole different
that's just me
realm
again.
of
One of my
evil.
tangents. Yeah, just forget that bit. There's a lot about me. But yeah, it looks like Ruscio getting wiped here by Shinzoku there. Once brought down the unicorns. Vendetta is rushing at Soldier. Not letting it get away here. Not letting the hit scan on 25 HP, but cannot hit a shot with secondary fire. Ruscio tried to finish it, but she manages to get the health pack and get back into the fight. Going for another one. Getting back on the high ground. Uses Pop Soul. But can't do anything to the Sigma just yet. He manages to ult. Kiriko gets away. She manages to get one final hit on the Kiriko. Wiping.
Yeah, and you know what? They, you know, no. Am I? Yeah, okay, I will. Actually, I'm gonna hate myself for
Go
saying
on.
this, but
Say it.
using the same words that you were using before, Unicorn Rage have been charitable and given EC Shinzuko a single point in Flashpoint, and that might be enough for them though to turn it around.
Yeah, well, who knows? It might just actually be a tight game. But what are these Sigma shields? Like, come on, who are they protecting here?
Themselves,
Both of
their
them just
egos.
missed. Like, I don't think they were protecting themselves there either. They were just like wanting to waste them by the looks of things. Like, that was terrible from both team Sigmas, if you ask me. But yeah, Vexter and Sigma manages to get a couple of picks there and gives Unicorn Rage the point.
Absolutely,
And it looks like
the
we've got
venture.
a chance now as well.
Yeah.
On Goku. I wonder what this is going to do for them. A high noon could go hard here, but they have to make sure they take out both the Sigma, Black Hole, and the Shield. But then again, there's also loads of twists, turns, and little bits of cover to hide around, which can maybe make a Cass ultimate not useful at all.
Yeah, but I think the most important ultimate in this upcoming fight isn't going to be that Castle ultimate, but this Sigma ultimate. If they can find a huge one, they might be able to pull off the win here. They aren't able to get the kills that they need, but they are able to play off it perfectly. They double
Hit
kill
scan
for
is on
Ishizuka.
one shot and she is taken out. She doesn't manage to do much, but she manages to stall for a bit of extra percentage. That 3% could be the difference between a win and a loss here. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and hopefully this is going to be going better for them in the future. They do need to.
Upsult. This is the ult you were talking about. And that
It
sounds like a
wasn't
Ruscio beat from Shinzoku. Everyone's got all the
alive.
health. Yeah, but will Unicorn Rage use their beat is the question. Struggling to keep the Venture alive here. She is taking hits left, right, and center. Soldier just about taking a little scratch there, but it's nothing for her.
Venture on the flank.
And we finally see the other beat. Shinzoku manages to get a nice pick on the enemy tank and a support, which is a huge advantage. There are 2 people down. Do they manage to get the on soldier out of the game as well?
Well,
the
who
beat
knows?
gets
But
taken out by the support. It's just embarrassing, maybe. It's a hero, not a DPS.
I don't know. I feel like these support heroes are playing more and more like a DPS as time goes on. And perhaps that's how things have been going so well for Unicorn Rage. That beat was all that they needed to push in aggressively and find the 2 kills that they needed.
And now we have the Kitsune.
Oh, 3K! What?
Cheeky triple, but someone trying to C9 and a Tracer out of nowhere. We're seeing a Franka support passive now. I mean, a Franka DPS passive, but it's not going to be enough. No one's going to get to point on time, giving Unicorn Rage the win.
Yeah, that last little Hail Mary there of the Tracer was certainly a good shout, but unfortunately, with that double kill from Kurem and the double kill as well with the from the Sojourn was just more than enough to just shut down the team. You just lost 4 team members. There's
And here we
no
go.
way you're going to be
Let's
coming
see
back
this
from here. I
amazing
mean, yeah.
expedition by Venture once again. I forgot the name of the orb, but I know what she shouts, so that's important.
Sure. We'll go by that name for now. I'm sure everybody knows full well what that ultimate does. They've just seen it in doing some incredible damage, and honestly, this fight, this series has been incredibly close, and yet it
Yeah.
sort of crumbled away a little bit for Shinzuku at the end. But
Well, this was definitely a close game. I wonder if either of these teams are actually going to be able to make it in a champion division. Because if this is what they're doing against challenger teams with it barely scratching by and all the other teams being 3-0 sort of like just clean matches, are they going to be able to get into that top 10? I doubt it, to be honest, in the
well,
champion division.
I don't know about Challenger Division. They you know
Sorry,
how
champion.
this sorry champion yes
Yeah.
sorry how Crown Cup works is that it's based on the the SR of your players and your team members, and that is the biggest part of whether you end up into champion or challenger division. A lot of teams ending up in champion division because their SR is in the right range, whereas for challenger division, the SR is Diamond One maximum, right? So champion is a Grandmaster 2 maximum, and challenger is like Diamond 1 maximum. But I have to agree though, these players are playing very well for Diamond.
Yeah, as well. I wonder if they're actually going to try and research the teams that they will be coming up against if they get into whoever gets into the Champion League, because obviously all of the past matches are on the YouTube channel, which anyone can go watch. So it's a bit of revision for them, really. And I think they are going to need all the information they can get when it comes to counter picking, counter swapping, and finding out their new opponent's sort of strengths and weaknesses, because that is a big part of any hero shooter.
Absolutely. And I think for Unicorn Rage at the very least, even if they do not gather that from, the what matches they've seen or can see because of VOD codes or because of scrimming or because of word of mouth. They've shown to me in this match that they have the capacity to read the enemy's compositional choices, their habits, their little patterns that they like to fall into. Go into that Ramatra, go into that Malga, playing this, playing that, doing this, doing that. Unicorns read that and they used that to get this victory.
Yeah, and they just needed a bit of a warm up. That warm up game was definitely just could have been them sort of testing the waters on what Shinzoku was actually like. And if so, fair play to them. They've made an amazing comeback today.
Yeah, absolutely. And not only that, but they have also gone ahead and secured their position for the grand finals. Unicorn Rage. So they're looking pretty. They're looking pretty with this, but that is not all. I believe with 3 teams in the challenger division, it's going to be the 2 top teams from so 2 top. My bad. The top teams are going to be getting the ticket, which is as it turns out going to be Unicorn, and then the other teams are going to be fighting their way in the semis, only to get to the grand finals. So it's going to be interesting to see how that turns out. But that is not all, though, for now, at least for today, with this series, with everything being wrapped up. It's been an exciting game for sure. I've loved casting with you here, Ollie.
Yeah,
Been
it's
through.
been great.
Yeah, it's been amazing seeing the compositional choices, the interesting decisions, the early picks, the environmental kills. But we never got to see the ball that you were looking forward to. But
I
what we will
know.
be
a bit disappointed by that, to be honest with you. I was expecting a nice little bit of ball playthrough, especially when I saw Icon World or that final map, Samoa. That could have been a pretty good one. Savasasai.
That is very true. Maybe the ball was just the change that they needed to maybe eke out another map victory for
Yeah, keep
EC
it going.
Shinzoku. Um, and that could have been enough to maybe push them a little bit further in see whether they could get that round victory, the series victory, at least put things a little bit more pressure onto um,
Yeah. Well,
Unicorn
obviously we didn't
range.
see the ball, which would have been the Unicorn Mage's favorite. But out of all the players today, the 10 players that we saw, who would you say was our MVP for today's matches? Because I
Oh,
think we had
that is
some
a great choice. For
amazing
me
DPS and
personally,
some amazing supports, and we had amazing counter swapping with the tanks.
yeah, sorry. Amazing counter swapping from the tanks, as you're saying, and the support's incredible. But for me personally, I think I've got to give it to the supports. I feel like the supports in these two teams were playing incredibly cleanly for this level of play. They were playing the roles very well in the ways that you expect it. I feel like these supports are honestly my MVP, especially the Lucios, right? I think
Yeah.
that Hellboy on the Lucio was just doing an incredible job.
Well, I personally would actually give it the MVP to Noctil, Noctil Lucas, I believe it's called, Sojourn from the Unicorn Mage team. Because especially when it came to Watchpoint Gibraltar, his picks and just like having that hit scan on that map is a huge advantage, and he played his part perfectly.
Yeah, I
Definitely was a
mean,
big part of that win. And he was diffing their Sojourn when they had Sojourner as well. So that is definitely something that you love to see.
yeah, I mean the venture plays as well from Kuriam, aka Mew, was
Yeah.
incredible as well. I genuinely love to see
Yeah,
that.
especially the quad at the end. I was not expecting that last second.
Yeah, they really were able to just open up those flanks and catch the team their opponents off guard, and that was yet another reason for their success. I feel,
Yeah.
but
So who are
sorry.
we saying for MVP?
You know what?
You have to pick one.
I do have to pick one. We do have to pick one, I suppose. We can't really just cop out and just like give, like, oh, I have one, you have one, totally different. No, no, no. I have to agree. That's a bit of a cop out. So, you know what? I'm going to have to agree with you that
Yeah.
Noctilus, aka
Well, I'm
Lucas.
down to go with Caillou, to be honest.
Oh, what? You're changing
Yeah.
on me? I was going to give it to
I
the
thought
Ocean.
the
I was going
quad
to
at the
agree with
end was
you.
pretty good, to be honest.
Ah.
You know what? You pick. You've been doing this longer with this league. I'll let you choose.
Oh, why are you putting the pressure onto me like that?
You're the senior here, so who are we saying?
Oh boy. Okay.
Because Caillou did have a good few triples and quads in that final game, but Lucas's Sojourn and hit scanning was amazing as well. It definitely has to be Unicorn Mage MVP for this game.
I suppose so. I mean, I don't think that means that any of the players from EC Shinzoku are at all bad or undeserving of a MVP themselves. I'm sure
Oh
that
yeah,
I Unicorn Rage will be giving an MVP to one of their opponents, and I'm really interested to see who they nominate for MVP. But like you were saying, though, we have to nominate someone, and
yes we
I
do.
think I've got to give it to Lucas in the end. I think I've got to give it to Lucas.
Yep, I'm happy with your choice, to be honest with you. I would totally agree. Lucas was an amazing hit scan. Managed to hold some amazing high ground points, and just managed to keep the enemy back. To be honest with you, he was amazing on DPS.
Yeah,
I see
absolutely.
why Soldier was his favorite hero.
Yeah. Oh, Ebroth, why did you... Oh, I didn't read that. Oh, well. Well, producer telling us who they thought was their MVP. But we can't yap forever about our favorite player, most valued person in the teams and the compositions. But I do have to
Well, where
read you.
can people find all of our highlights and just come back to watch if they want to see their favorite player again? These kind of things.
Oh, that is a great question. I was, in fact, going to tell you the very answer at just moments, and that is on YouTube, on Twitter, on Twitch. You can follow us there in all of those social medias. Crown Cup Esports. Follow us for the latest updates on when we're going to be streaming next. We're going to be streaming on Saturday most weeks, and you can check out our previous broadcasts as well on YouTube, Crown Cup Esports. I am sure that you'll find all the information there, um,
And you
including a
can go
link,
to
crowncup.eu.
crownclub.eu for all info on our socials.
But that is not all, as next week is going to be an exciting week for the teams, because next week will be the first time that the new heroes will be available for the players of Crown Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week, and I hope that we'll be able to cast a game together at some point next week for some of these matches with 5 new heroes. I'm hoping to see some Jetpack Cat.
I am hoping for some incredible Jetpack Cat plays, but unfortunately, that's going to have to come at another time. That is all from me, as I look forward with great anticipation next week for Jetpack Cat's plays and all the other shenanigans that we're going to see with those new heroes.
Yep, it's been a fun night effort, but I think we have to call it here. Don't want to
Indeed,
make
before I
the
get yelled
producing
at
team
for
mad.
yapping for too long once again.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching tonight. Thank you for showing support to the teams. I'm sure you were a great help to their motivation. And make sure you check out the rest of our games over the next few weeks.